Good evening, and welcome to OCU Forum.
Your form.
Tonight you are with
Darnell Brewer.
and Miss Mariah, simulcasting live from
Planet Do Right.
Cause You Gotta Do Us Right.
Good
Welcome,
evening.
welcome in, Darnell.
How are you?
How can you be here and be late?
But right on time.
Whatever, you ain't got.
How was your week?
How was your week, Darnell?
Mine was good.
In
Yours?
this great tear down.
I was
Got you
getting there.
first.
I was getting. Well, I guess we
Got you
reversed the
first.
roles today, huh?
What's going on? What's going on, my brother?
How are you? I'm good. Good this week.
I'm good. We have some guests in our studio this evening. We have my little granddaughter. Can you hear me tonight? Okay, wave to me. I said her name wrong on air. Isn't your daughter here too? Where's Chanel?
Chanel, she's back too.
She is. Hi, Chanel. So they're here observing their grandparents do their thing tonight. Isn't that wonderful?
Teach the babies.
Teach the babies. Teach them and wish the way they should go.
That's one of the things that we can criticize many of our activists and community leaders and politicians on for
people.
not.
What are you talking about? I just point things out.
I guess today I get the fire.
I don't criticize people. I just point things out. So,
well, maybe one day the mayor come on and do our. Oh, go ahead. You have something to talk about. Go ahead.
Wait. We first have to, remember that if anyone wants to call in this evening, you're going to call in at 216-578-1490.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to hear us, go to 1490 AM on your radio or
newstalkcleveland.com.
Bam, there it is.
There it
Whoop,
is.
whoop, whoop. If you need to contact us, you can contact us at www.ocuforum.com. We are asking for donations to help keep us on the air, and we want to thank those people who have been contributing and helping us.
Yes.
We really appreciate your ongoing support and
Or if they know a
helping with the work.
business that they go to on a weekly or
Right.
monthly basis that needs some advertising, please give us a call.
Right,
we
because-
definitely can use them.
they can advertise here and they
Mhm.
can help support keep our radio on the air, our radio show on the air. And so we really
Mhm.
appreciate all the support that we've been getting from the public. It's been really interesting, the
Yes.
feedback we've been getting.
Yes. And the people that we've been meeting too. Wow.
Right. Well, we have a guest that's in the audience.
That's in the audience or in the studio?
In the audience studio. See, I see you pointing me off and just got me all off track. Look at you. Darnell did that, everybody. Boo, Darnell.
Some said
Okay.
I love stars, so I don't know.
Oh, well, Star is my middle name, and my granddaughter just put this huge sign up so everybody knows we're not crazy. But she put this sign up, and it says, I love Star. So she was telling me, and so Darnell pointed and it threw me off. So I got my words all messed up. So I'm going to get back to this.
He's going to get us back on our guest is going to get
Yes,
us right
he
back on
is.
track.
And you're going to introduce him now. There you go.
And you know what? Give me the flyer.
I ain't giving you nothing.
Because I love this title.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
It says Colored Boys Blues.
Yeah, you need that.
It's a dramatic reading performed by William Clarence Marshall.
Who happens to be our guest this evening.
Yes, who happens to be our guest this evening.
Hi,
And when you
William.
hear the voice, you would know exactly what we're talking about.
I'm good.
Good evening.
Hey, Darnell, what's going on?
Good.
Thank you for having me on your show.
No, thank you for joining us. Give us a synopsis. What is the Colored Boy Blues?
Well, I'll just read a little bit from the flyer. It's a heartfelt story about a dynamic African-American family, 3 young men, a warrior spiritual mother, an off-again, on-again incarcerated father, grappling with the viciousness that is racism, making a way out of no way, a triumph of family, and a coming-of-age saga in the face of unsettling tragedy. The work's about 40 minutes, and I'm very, very excited about this.
And how can people see this performance?
Well, on Saturday, August 17th, 2013, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the East Cleveland Public Library, the Greg L. Reese Performing Arts Center. You can come and see it August 17th and then again September 21st. The August 17th performance is for students. Well, not for students, but for adults. The September 21st performance is for students, specifically Shaw High School students.
Wow. So not only are you doing this, but you're giving back to East Cleveland. And when you do it to the students, a lot of students can relate to what you're speaking about, correct?
Oh, I hope they do. I actually performed this at the African American Museum and at the Harvey Rice Library just to see if it had any traction. And believe you me, the first time I did it, it was just absolutely cricket quiet. And the people they took to it. And the interesting thing is, people came up to me and said, that reminds me of 137 Shots. And that was really kind of shocking because this work was actually written in 2000.
Okay.
And now, of course, that was, November 29th, 2012. And people are just coming up to me saying, hey, did you write that right after? I said, no, it's written in 2000. And I didn't write it. And because I didn't write it, the author actually of this work wishes to remain actually anonymous.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now,
Really wants anonymity.
Is there a cost to this, William?
No, it's free. Absolutely free.
Okay, y'all listening? It's free. It's free.
Free is wonderful. And
if
I
you
want
hear a lot of bumping going around, it's because Leo putting everybody in check except me.
like I said, the folks over at the East Cleveland Public Library, the new director, Sheba Marcus Bay, she's wonderful. She took to the work, and the folks at the East Cleveland Public Library unanimously wanted this work to come to the community. And so like I said, I'm excited. I put quite a bit of press out there, and I'm thankful that you've had me on your station.
Well, we're glad that you came in. We like to give this kind of information to the community. And William, would you just one more time give it back to the community so that they know where it is, just in case people weren't able to write it down? And we will talk about this again throughout the course of this evening. And next Friday, we'll announce it again so that people will be aware of the performance and hopefully be able to attend and support.
Well, let me just read it the way it is. The East Cleveland Public Library presents Colored Boy Blues, a dramatic reading performed by William Clarence Marshall. Free admission, Saturday, August 17, 2013, from 4 to 6 p.m. at the East Cleveland Public Library, the Greg L. Reese Performing Arts Center, located at 14101 Euclid Avenue. And their phone number is 216-541-4128, and their website is www.ecpl.lib.oh.us.
That is so cool. I'm going to be there.
And how much is it? How much is it?
Oh, it's my favorite cost
How
ever.
much? How
it's
much?
free.
FREE?
Double E.
Double E.
Double E.
So we expect the whole community to show up.
Yes.
Well, there's one other thing that I want to talk about. The work is only 40 minutes long. And after there'll be a very short intermission. I mean short. And then we will have 4 very interesting gentlemen who are going to be our panelists.
Wow.
So there's just going to be a talk back, an intergenerational talk back from our panelist, Paul Hill, who's the founder of National Rites of Passage.
Yes, East End Neighborhood House. Yes.
Dr. James Poole, a psychiatric social worker.
Yes.
Dr. Runny Don, the professor at CSU.
He's been here.
Yes, he has.
Is the author of a book about racial profiling, and Zizwe Chiguga, a member of the Pan-African Revolutionary
Yes.
Party.
That's all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good.
That's a dynamic group of men.
Yes, it is.
And I really hope they get this discussion going, especially with the students.
That's great.
Wow.
That's great. It's going to be a great panel.
That's going to be a great panel because it is very intergenerational and not different thoughts, but all looking for the same goal, but trying it different ways to reach that same goal.
I mean, when they see it, there's not a right or wrong way to look at this. I just want to present it, want to see what the impact is, and really get young folks talking, because the young boys were they were quite young. Then they transitioned into young men and then adults, and then had to work with this. You know what I mean? The tragedy of it all.
Wow. It's going to be very dynamic. And Saturday, August 17th.
And if you want to be filmed, we're going to film it, actually.
Okay.
Because we're going to use it as we're going to build a media piece out of it so that we can take it around the country to museums and small library theaters.
And not just that piece of the performance, but also the panel piece too?
Yes, the panel piece.
I mean, those names that you gave, not only are they known locally, but they're known nationally.
And that's why I want to get the next time we do this, I want, and I hope you're listening, James Hardiman from the ACLU.
Oh, wow.
And I want Dr. Rhonda Williams
Wow.
to be on the panel next time.
Wow.
So if you two are listening, I'm looking for you.
Well, if anybody knows them, tell them. And when I see Professor Hardiman, who I call him Attorney Hardiman, I definitely will tell him. I definitely will pass that message along to him.
And one more thing, this project is, besides the East Cleveland Public Library presenting it, it's also an association with the Black Women's Center, and that's the blackwomenscenter.org, and my organization, Martial Arts, to bring this all to fruition. Now,
I want to focus on arts for a minute, martial arts. Why is art important in our community? I mean, because as we go through this show, we talk about a lot of things on the show. And one of the things that we see a lot of the school systems do when there's a budget cut is take what? Arts out the school system. Why is art so important to young people? And also, why is it important, or is it important to a school system?
It's always important. It isn't just art. Art to me is you're breathing. For me, that's what art is. If you take it away from me, I might as well just call it a day. I might as well just get in a box and say, see you later. It works both sides of your brains. For those that are abstract, think abstractly, think out of the box, art is the way to bring you back, kind of rein you in. It's personal. It's your expression. There's not a right. There's not a wrong. Expressing yourself is good. It's a good thing. Instead of being somebody else, you become you. And it's a lifelong pursuit. It can change you. It can make you more human than less human. It can bring what we are, our soul, the soul of Black folk. It brings us out. We're an expressive people. It's as though God had given us art to be who we are and to show the whole world what we're about. We're expressive people. You take art away, not just from our people, but from children.
Right.
What?
Right.
They don't become critical thinkers.
Right.
Anybody who can't create is hemmed in, they're lost souls as far as I'm concerned.
And as we look through our window, we see, what do we see? What is your granddaughter doing?
My baby?
Yes, what is she doing?
Well, let's see. She made me go to Family Dollar before we got here. And she has a bag of supplies, and she has crayons, and she has a drawing pad, and she has pencils and a coloring book. And she's drawing pictures, and she's doing a lot of self-expression. I see big flowers and hearts, and she's hanging them up so I can see them. So she letting me know she loved me. I love you too, boo. But that's right. That's what we do. We encourage the children to do those type of things so that they can become self-expressive of who they are as an individual. And that's what it's about. It's about creating your own individuality.
Art is something that once you have it, no one can take it away from you. No one can take away you. Once you find you become centered. You become focused. And you know what? You become productive. Everyone sees your light, and it's all increased.
Wow. I mean, because that's something that we definitely, need to encourage people. And that's why I'm glad you're going to present this to the students at Shaw High School.
Specifically at Shaw High School, yes.
Because you never know what may spark, what they may see, and you never know who you may encourage, not just by your words, but like say your act, maybe one of the actions, or maybe something that one of the panelists may say to them, So it's very important that we keep these kind of performances in the forefront, and we make sure they're available to the community. And how much is it again, Miss Mariah? I keep forgetting how much is it.
It is my favorite price. It's free.
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 What better cause could you ask for than free? And if you've never been to the East Cleveland Greg L. Reese Performing Arts Center, it is a diamond in the rough.
You're in for a treat.
In East Cleveland. You are definitely in for a treat. You would say, this is in East Cleveland.
Is there any good thing that can be in East Cleveland?
And this Performance
this
Arts
is
Center is
This
right
is it.
here. And not just the Performance Arts Center, but also the theater that is right across the street that people don't even know about. East Cleveland Theater. It's right there across the street. So it's so much that we can brag about that's good in East Cleveland, but we do know there's also some bad in East Cleveland. But this is something that is good in East Cleveland. I definitely want people to come out Saturday, August 17th, and definitely come out and see this performance. It's going to be dynamic. Is this your first performance, or have you been doing this for a while?
No, this is the formal debut.
Mm-hmm.
We did it twice. Once at the African American Museum, and that was impromptu.
Okay.
And the second was at the Harvey Rice, the branch library,
The library
up there on Shaker. and
116th, right. And that's right in the community, too. And I bet you got some powerful reviews.
We got immediate discussion.
And, what I appreciate, William, is that, there are individuals like yourself who see the lacking that is occurring in the school systems, whether it's Cleveland, East Cleveland, across the board. And you're still reaching out and providing what the people and the children need in our community. And you're doing it as a service to us so that we can still get what will culture us and make us better, so that we can be able to become successful in the society in which we live. And so that's why it's really important, especially if there are families who are homeschooling. And I had this conversation with someone earlier that, a lot of people just don't know what to do when it comes to homeschooling. And I said, well, there are so many things that you can do for free to homeschool, educate, culture your children, and even things at a low cost. Art museum, free.
Mm-hmm.
Take your kid to the art museum, study some things, learn some things you don't know. And these type of performances also will help us to educate our kids so that we can, discipline them and create a better mindset. Are we getting motion? Do we have a break?
Yes, we have to go to a break.
Oh, thank you, William, for coming in
Thank
this
you.
evening.
Thank you.
We got a break we got to go to, and we'll be back with OCU Forum.
Right after this.
Not only are we streaming live at newstalkcleveland.com, but you can stay connected to what we're up to by joining our Facebook fan page and following us on Twitter. Just type in Newstalk 1490 and become a part of our family.
This is an important announcement for anyone with a student loan who is having trouble making their monthly payments. Pay attention. There is a special toll-free hotline that has been set up especially for you. Grab a pen and take down this number or put it in your cell phone, but call 1-800-436-1225. That's 1-800-436-1225. When you call the Federal Student Loan Relief Hotline, you will get free information to help you relieve the overwhelming financial burden of an ongoing endless student loan. If you are behind, late on payments, or even in default on your student loan, Federal Student Loan Relief can help you. You can cut your payments in half right away. Federal Student Loan Relief will also stop the harassing phone calls, wage garnishments, and even remove tax liens. But you have to call 1-800-436-1225. Federal Student Loan Relief has helped thousands of people just like you fix their student loan problem. Call 1-800-436-1225 for free information today. That's 1-800-436-1225.
Back in high school, that's when I started smoking. Almost everybody in our crowd did. We'd go to parties, feel awkward, and cigarettes became an easy way to deal with that. But high school was ages ago, and I still smoke. It's not like I haven't tried to quit. I tried after college, then when I hit 30. Now, I have another big birthday coming up this year. I'd love to be done forever with smoking by then.
Most people say they want to quit smoking, but it's not easy. It usually takes several tries before you quit for good. So stop thinking you're a failure, because what you really are is just a normal human being up against a very addictive product. Visit quitterinyou.org or call 1-800-LUNG-USA for tools, tips, and support from the American Lung Association. We support the quitter in you.
Back in the day, smoking was in. Now, quitting is. So much better.
Love plus love equals love. This is Sister Juanita Shealy inviting you to tune in every Sunday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. to listen to God's saving word. You will find
Joanne Toppoli,
Danny Carlton,
and many wonderful guests to inspire, affirm, and challenge you. So we'll see you.
God bless you.
If you're having a crisis or dealing with a dangerous situation, there is someone who can help. Did you know that RTA buses and trains are safe places? Look for the yellow diamond-shaped Safe Place signs on all vehicles and at various RTA locations. If you are in crisis, get to a Safe Place vehicle or location and let the bus or train operator know, and he or she will contact the transit police, whom will immediately get to your location and assist. There is no fee for Safe Place assistance. Log on to riderta.com/Safe Place for more information. This is a WERE public service announcement.
WERE Cleveland Heights, powered by the new BlackPlanetRadio.com.
Welcome back to OCU Forum.
Your Forum.
I'm Darnell Brewer, and this is
Miss Mariah.
And for the next couple of, for the next hour and a half?
Correct.
You'll be talking to and listening to us, the audience.
The audience. Got you. See what happens when you make fun of people? See?
You'll be talking to and talking with me and
Miss Mariah.
I'm Darnell Brewer. And if you enjoyed our conversation, 216-578-1490. We're going to be talking about a bunch of issues, but we have an event coming up.
Yes, Ohio Communities United is having an event on August 19th at 11 o'clock from 11 to 2 at the City Club of Cleveland. We are having a mayoral candidate forum, and we have invited Ken Lancey, who is running.
Has he confirmed?
He has confirmed.
Okay.
And we have also invited incumbent Mayor Frank Jackson.
Has he confirmed?
He said no.
Oh, he said no.
He said no. And what's interesting is that I got word back was that he would never lower himself to come on our show and be part of this forum.
So we are residents of the city of Cleveland, correct?
Yeah, but I want to go back to it's about the least of these.
And that's what I'm getting to.
I mean,
we are residents of the city of Cleveland.
Wait a minute. I'm a tax-paying homeowner voting Democrat who resides within the city in which he said, he
and we have problems that.
But wait a minute, this is a nonprofit grassroots organization which is dedicated to helping build the community, help to build relationships between the politicians and the community, and to help fix these problems and bring it to their attention and be a support system. And I got word back, that no, he would never lower himself to come to come on this show or come to the event. And I'm not even insulted. I'm not,
I know we gave each other a high five. We heard.
I know. I thought that was great. And so, for someone to make that kind of comment, I think the public needs to know how your incumbents feel about you.
Right. And I'm glad you said incumbents.
Incumbents. Because
anybody
they're not the
but
ones.
the incumbents. That's what we're going to keep preaching.
But the incumbents are, he's not the only incumbent.
He's not the only one.
We had Kevin Conwood on the show who was supposed to come back the following Friday. He didn't even call and say he wasn't going to come back. Ed Fitzgerald has refused to come on the show, ignored our requests. We've had other people like Jeff Johnson who, blocked and deleted me.
He deleted you from the
blocked
page.
and deleted me from his page.
But you can also go. You can go to his party this Saturday. You can party with him this Saturday.
I wouldn't party with him because we're gonna talk about him too in a few minutes and the shootings that's going on in his ward.
Oh, that's surveillance cameras was going on. Oh.
Okay. Don't jump ahead. Don't jump ahead. But let's talk about this a little bit here. Okay. We have people who are incumbents who have a clique in which they are willing to interact with, and they want to act like that those are the only residents in the city of Cleveland. Well, they're not the only residents in the city of Cleveland. And those of us who you don't want to reach down to and be part of whatever it is you want to call it, because I really don't want to be part of whatever it is that you have. I think whatever you have sucks. But it's not even insulting to know that you don't want me to be part of your clique. I thank you for that. I appreciate that. That tells me I'm doing something right. So, but yes, that the formal decline came from his campaign office. Young lady called me and she says that,
what was her name?
Her name was Michelle.
Michelle Felder?
I think so,
It
yes.
probably was Michelle.
And so Michelle called and she said, well, I called the city club and the city club said they don't even have your event scheduled. And I was like, excuse me? So, that was problematic for me too, because what right do you have to call the city club and inquire about an event I invited this candidate too? I mean, did you call because you had an ulterior motive? So that was part of the problem I encountered. And then, she said, oh, no. Mr. Jackson is not going to participate. He said that, he's already scheduled with the city club for September 18th, where he's already accepted. But mine came first. My invitation came first, and you're telling me that you're willing to go to the city club and do a debate with Ken Lancey and ignore the public's request, ignore a public organization.
He's been doing it for the last 4 years, so what makes you feel that?
But you know what? I want people to know what's going on so that they can be aware of, you need to dig a little bit deeper in terms of who you want to vote for. You have a mayor who currently is willing to fire firefighters and supervisors who were not on the scene of 137 shots, suspend them, lay them off, and investigate them for not following policy. And we still have Michael Brillo and Cynthia Moore walking the streets
with guns
on their hips, okay? This is a mayor who thinks that firing theft in office is more important than the lives of Timothy and Melissa. If that's not problematic,
theft in office was that was not the fire chief.
It was the one. No, it was a couple of other firefighters. Right?
And did you see the report where there are a bunch of double dippers in his administration too?
No, nobody double dips in Cleveland.
Oh, please! He had a whole slew of double dippers in his administration.
But you have a mayor who obviously does not give a flying monkey about, the public and what we're looking at and what we're seeing. I think it's very, very problematic. And I love to use that word problematic because it is. And to me, a problem needs a solution. Mm-hmm. And I am not for the current incumbents because of this let them eat cake attitude. This Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake. That attitude. It needs to stop. We need to look at the big picture of you telling me that every time you meet with the public, you have a select group in which you're willing to meet with.
Yeah, why not?
You don't just have a select group in which, but now when it comes to the questions, you want to secure the questions to make sure that the right questions are asked.
And if they're not asked, what do you do?
Dude, let me tell you something. He out there politicking. He better look up and notice I'm going to be standing right next to him real soon. Because he can either answer the questions on air. He can answer them on Monday at the city club, at the mayoral candidate forum, or he can answer in front of whatever parade, party, event is going on, because I'm going to get loud.
Somebody has to do it.
Hey, it is what it is, my brother.
We can just point out we talked about the fire chief, and the reason they fired him was because he failed to take some training. But this man was on the job for over 27 years, was in that position for 18 months before they found this out.
Because he was somebody's friend, and he made somebody mad. Come on, read between the lines.
Here and like you said, we look at the newspaper. Mark Nimitz pointed out all the double dippers that he has in his administration.
Well, we have perfect examples of double dippers, which are still serving as city council people right now.
Yeah.
Kenny Johnson.
Ken Johnson. Perfect prime example.
Which I think is funny because he'll be my new ward person.
Oh, yeah, you were. Yeah,
and you're going to love this. I love this. Okay, I'm outside in the backyard, and I'm working in the backyard, and when I come around the front, there's a note on my door that says, "Hi, this is Ken Johnson. I stopped by to visit you. I'm going to be your new ward person." You telling me you couldn't have came in the back when that lawnmower was moving? No. And on top of it, how many letters have I sent Ken Johnson in the past 9 months asking him to rename Kossuth Park after Emiliano Terry? He's never responded. Oh, he want to be my council person? I'm about to have some fun.
Who
is this Rudy Poo?
Yeah, Ken Johnson is his name, and that's one of the other ones, right?
Double
Anybody
dipper.
But the incumbent, and I hope people take this message seriously. and convey
I think I'm gonna
it.
get some signs printed up,
They
and
can
I'm gonna put them
convey it
all over. It's voting season. Anybody
but the incumbent. You know, let's throw them all out and start all over again.
You know what? What was my solution, Darnell? You thought you was laughing when I said it. My solution was, let's remove all the residents from the city, from the county, and from the state. Leave all the politicians here. Nuke the place. Come back, clean it up, and start all over. But my fear is what? They like roaches. They gonna survive a nuclear holocaust. We're going to come back and the roaches and the politicians are still going to be standing. The buildings will be collapsed. Everything else will be dead. And
because not only do we have politicians, we have inspiring politicians, as we see coming up down the pipeline.
Oh, like the one that's trying to use my girl, but I'm not going to talk about that on air because that would just be totally wrong for me to talk about Michael Hauser on the air, wouldn't it?
We have inspiring politicians.
Because he like talking about me behind my back, but guess what?
You have a radio program.
I got a radio program.
But no, he said he could have one too. So remember, he did say that.
Yeah, he can have one. Who gonna listen?
216-578-1490, 216-578-1490. He may be listening. He can call in, you know.
Again, on the 19th from 11 to 2, we are inviting the public to the City Club for a mayoral candidate forum. Ken Lancey has graciously accepted. We are still going to push for Frank to be there. I mean, we don't expect him to come, but it's okay.
664-2000. People can call the mayor's office or call City Hall, be transferred to the mayor's office, and ask the mayor why won't he be at the debate at the
why
City
won't you
Club.
come?
664-2000.
Right, and our event happens and was invited prior to the city clubs. So that's one thing. The other thing is, if you go to www.ocuforum.com and put in a contact form, we are giving away 5 tickets, which are worth $20 for this event. And so if you will go to www.ocuforum.com, send a contact form, say, I want to attend this event at the City Club. We will reserve a ticket in your name, and we are giving this away. Ohio Community United is sponsoring these 5 tickets, and we are inviting the public to come, and questions will be asked of Mr. Lancey and possibly Mr. Jackson, but I doubt if he'll show because, he just can't.
He has something better to do.
He can't lower himself.
He can't lower himself.
You know what? If he lower himself, he might come to a higher standard.
Humble thyself. Something's wrong here.
Like Charles Ramsey said. And
hopefully people get that message on election day. Early voting has started. So we hope
I'm going to go vote this week.
People
right.
to early vote.
I'm going to vote probably Monday or Tuesday.
Anybody but the incumbent.
If you
don't know their name.
If I don't recognize the name,
vote
click,
for them.
You got it. You got my vote. You ain't even got to come ask me. If I don't know you, you got my vote.
If you don't recognize the name, vote for him.
Kimberly, I know Kimberly Brown.
Kim Brown, right.
Kimberly Brown and Jonathan Simon and Randy Willis, who have been gracious enough to come here and speak. Y'all got my vote if I was in your wards. You have my support because I think you're very passionate about what you want to do. And I think that you deserve a chance to show that you could do something better than what we're already receiving.
Because what we get now.
Yes. So now can we talk about Jeff Johnson?
Wow, all he did was come on the news. He was on Channel 19.
Can we back up on that, please?
What?
Jeff Johnson came on this show, and Jeff Johnson clearly said that surveillance cameras were what? Necessary.
Correct.
And that they would what? Curb
violence
and crime. Now, he also got smart with me and said that where I live, there's probably no crime in speeders.
Correct.
You remember he said that?
He did say that.
Okay. Well, I want Mr. Johnson to know this, that they released the half-year statistics on crimes and violence, and the 4th district in which I reside and have resided since 1970 has the highest amounts of crime, murder, rape, burglary, theft, all of those things. All of those things are existing are the highest in the city, across the city of Cleveland. I have the highest rates. Now, do you know what I think? It's just my opinion.
What's that?
Surveillance cameras it's not gonna fix this problem.
And I was gonna point out in some of those 4th district areas, there are surveillance cameras.
I know. It's one right on the corner of 116th when I go through the light.
When you go through the light.
Right.
So has that decreased the violence in that area?
Not according to the statistics.
Oh, wow.
Fourth District has the highest, and they were specific. They said the Kinsman area. The Kinsman area.
Well, he was on Channel 19. He did a story.
I know. I loved it.
Did you watch it?
Yes, I watched it. You forced me to watch it.
I did force you to watch it.
Yeah, you
because
did.
he was talking about the young men who had their pictures on YouTube, and he was, they said he was pleading for help from the.
Well, let's back up a little bit. Jeff said he been in office for 30 years. He been doing stuff, community service for 30 years. And so in the 30 years that he's been in service, how long has he been in his current ward?
Yeah, I don't know about it.
Probably about 8 years now, right? Because he went in around the same time Frank became mayor.
Mm-hmm.
So in the last 8 years, there has been an increase in his ward, his current ward, not the one that he's running for, because he's running for another ward. There has been an increase, especially in the last 2 weeks, in gun violence and shootings. And so it was on Channel 19. Ed Gallick did the story about these young men who are in a gang, and they posted videos of guns and drive-by shootings.
And also, let's just say this: the news report just said they could be the reason. They didn't say they were. They could be.
Can I say this? First of all, they posted the video on YouTube.
And their faces.
They posted it on YouTube for everybody in the world to see who has internet access. So I would love for Jeff, if you're listening, if you're around Jeff, if you know Jeff, call Jeff. I would love for Jeff to call in and explain to me that if they're willing to put this on YouTube and go national, international, worldwide with what they're doing in your ward, explain to me and the public, how are these surveillance cameras going to fix this problem?
Well, we have to go to a break. Maybe he'll call in after this break.
Yes, Jeff, call. Yes, Jeff, call. Whoop, whoop. We go on a break. With OCU 4. Wow.
You're 4. We'll be right back.
Circle K is home of the Polar Pop Fountain Drink, and we want you to win in our summer giveaway. Win free gas for a year. It's easy. Enter to win at CircleKGreatLakes.com or see store for details. Polar Pop, any size, every day, just 69 cents. Only at Circle K.
Make sure your child is up with the alarm and ready for school each morning, because missing just 18 days, even in middle school, will put their graduation at risk. It's up to you. Learn more at boostup.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
You owe the IRS over $10,000 in back taxes, and you simply have no way to pay it off. And the IRS will not stop collection activities until they're paid. What can you do? Relax. 911 Tax Relief has your way out. In fact, you may qualify for one of many programs offered by the IRS, including a little-known program specially designated for people who can't afford to pay. Once you've been qualified and enrolled in this program, the IRS no longer pursues collection activities against you. The calls stop, wage garnishments and levies are eliminated, and you stop making monthly payments. It's that simple. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes, have unfiled tax returns, or experiencing a bank levy or wage garnishment, call 911 Tax Relief now. They are highly rated with the Better Business Bureau, and their expert staff of tax professionals can get you the best possible settlement. Call 1-800-807-9927. 1-800-807-9927. 1-800-807-9927.
This is Art McCoy, heard every Sunday night from 5 to 7 p.m. Do you know that I'm the only radio talk show host that Amanda Berry called personally thanking me for looking for her? I will never forget that phone call. She said, Art McCoy, this is Amanda Berry. I want to personally thank you for looking for me all those years. It gave me hope and strength. I said, Amanda, I promise you, Mom, that I would never give up looking for you. Hallelujah. We both shouted for joy. Tune in every Sunday night from 5 to 7 p.m. The Art McCoy University Radio Show.
Where do you want to go to lunch? I'm having a stroke. Did you hear what I said? I'm having a stroke. Why aren't you answering me? I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
I remember the moment. I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
As long as I live.
Several of us were working to rescue a family.
The house collapsed on top of the cellar door and trapped them.
We had to use Humvees and heavy machinery to move massive trees and debris.
We got them out.
We helped a lot of people out.
It felt good to know I could really make a difference.
Because I'm a citizen soldier in the National Guard.
Be there the moment your community needs you. Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Ohio National Guard. Aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
WERE Cleveland Heights, powered by the new BlackPlanetRadio.com.
Welcome back to OCU Forum.
Yo, Forum.
I'm Darnell Brewer, and this is
Miss Mariah.
And we need, if you want to give us a call, 216-578-1490. We done hit a lot of people over this last, however minutes
I
we've
didn't
been on
hit
the
anybody.
air.
I just made a statement or two.
If you know, there may be people out there who agree or disagree with what we're saying, or somebody that we spoke about, they may want to call in and defend themselves if they dare. But they more than welcome to 216-578-1490.
Don't say that. Don't encourage that. People don't have to defend themselves.
But they should have the opportunity to defend themselves, because
I don't think they should defend themselves. I think they need to call in and explain themselves. Because
no.
You know what? Let me tell you something. Frank made a statement today when these statistics about the crime being up in Cleveland and being higher in the 4th District. He had the audacity to say that perception is not reality.
And that's why I say he needs to defend his comments.
Is not reality.
He needs to defend why he has the people that he have who sits on the safety committee. He needs to explain why he needs to defend those numbers that came out.
But listen to this. Perception is not reality.
Perception is not. Well, where's the perception at? That's
no. Listen, I perceive it's not raining outside right now. Okay, I perceive it's not. Am I sure? No, because I have no evidence to prove that it's not raining outside unless I actually walk
defend
outside.
Your argument. There you go. And that's why I said defend.
Okay, reality is the numbers clearly say
numbers
the
don't
crime
lie.
is up. So it's not a perception. See, this is the ignorance that's really ticking me off.
Well, you also got to remember it's election year.
And you know what? He need to be more careful. In fact, Frank need to let me write his statements, because he need to quit talking. He just need to quit talking.
It's election year, and hopefully people don't believe perception is reality when they go to the polls and start voting for these candidates when it comes to city council, when it comes to mayor, when it comes to county council, when it comes to judges, when it comes to issues, when it comes to everything. We need to really reevaluate where we sit here in Cleveland and in Cuyahoga County.
Do you know in one little state, and I'm going to find out what it is because I know I saw this. In one state, there's a very small town that didn't want a mayor, so they elected a cat.
Well, there's one. Remember there's one they elected a 3-year-old boy.
Exactly right, the 3-year-old boy.
The 3-year-old boy.
3-year-old boy.
And he got reelected twice.
Exactly.
He probably could do a better job running the city of Cleveland than what we got now.
Now my cat's name is Spartacus, and he's poofy.
Spartacus is a 3-year-old boy for mayor.
My granddaughter is 6.
We got our own slate already.
Come on. This is crazy. I mean, are these politicians listening to what they're saying? And even better, is the public listening to what they're saying? I mean, perception versus reality. It's not a perception when the numbers are clear. There were over 53 killings in the city of Cleveland since January 1st of this year. That's not a perception. That's a reality. And he says that he's done more to make Cleveland safe. I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe, Frank. Come down to my level. And I'm one of the least of these.
He has 24-hour security. Brandon, he's the mayor. So he has 24
Why he need 24-hour
hours
security? Why he need 24-hour security?
You never know.
Maybe these kind of comments that he making about reality versus perception. Okay, reality's not perception. Maybe he does need security.
There are some people out there who you never know.
Because, last week a gentleman walked into a town hall meeting and opened fire on everybody.
Yes, he did.
And he said he was tired of the bureaucrats. He was tired of going back and forth. And, I don't condone that kind of behavior at all, but I understand it. I don't condone it. But people are tired.
We're saying people take that action to the ballot box.
Exactly. That action. Go to the ballot box and shoot the mayor, shoot the incumbent council people, shoot them by not giving them your vote. Stop voting for these people. And, it's not, I feel like this when it comes to a relationship. I'm 47 now, and in my youth, I used to, date people, and I used to think, oh, I love him. He's so wonderful. And I did not allow myself to get to know this person prior to me saying, oh, I love him. And then by the time I was so in love, this was probably the worst thing that ever happened to me or could have possibly I gotten myself into. And what I've learned becoming a mature, educated African-American female through education and through experiences is that you don't just give your heart and your trust to just anybody. It must be earned. And when people come in my life and I see that people, and I don't care what kind of level it is, whether it's a personal relationship, a business relationship, friends, clients, whatever. When I see that they cannot be trusted and they don't deserve my love, you better believe I run for the hills. I run. And you need to take that same application and give it to these incumbents and ask yourself, are they worthy of your trust? Are they worthy of your love and your support? Because a lot of you believe that they are, but when you have a mayor who thinks that money is more important than the lives of Timothy and Melissa, why that's not a problem for you? I'm going down MLK and I'm seeing all these Frank Jackson signs and
by hitting the pothole.
Exactly. While the potholes are located right in front of the houses. I don't understand and shootings are occurring right across the street. You have 3 or 4 abandoned, dilapidated properties right next to your house, in between your houses, and you have Frank Jackson's re-elect sign in front of your house. Are you people crazy?
And the money that he gets, where is he putting the money?
Well, okay, the question was asked at the Glenville meeting the other night. Where is the money that came in from the federal government that was supposed to go into community development? The east side of Cleveland looks like a war-torn zone. And the response by Kevin Conwell and Jeff Johnson and Darrell Rush, who we had on our show, was that the mayor and city council made a decision to funnel that money into downtown Cleveland. So for those of you that live on the east side that are getting shot up, you don't have police protection, you don't have viable streets to drive down without tearing up your tires and your cars and all that that's going on, and you have wildlife
CDC doesn't offer the paint program anymore.
Right. When you are looking at what's wrong, go outside and look at them Frank Jackson signs again and tell me if you still perceive or is it reality. Okay. What's your perception and what's your reality? Because your reality is that this is a mayor who is not pouring money into the east side of Cleveland. City council is not pouring money into the east side of Cleveland, and we are going down. And you know what? The only place you can go down when you get down is up. We got to turn this around, and we can't depend on them to do it.
And it's going to take not just us, but a whole community to turn this whole ship around that we call Cleveland. Not just Cleveland. Look at East Cleveland.
East Cleveland. My goodness. Going to East Cleveland City Hall to go see and invite Gary Norton here. I walked down the street, had to find a parking spot. There were 12 abandoned properties sitting right alongside of East Cleveland City Hall.
And I was ran down, last week?
But wait a minute. My foot got caught in the street and ripped my sandal off my foot.
They had to go down the street.
And I heard a young man on the porch say, "Do you want me to come carry you?" And I was like, thank God Darnell's not here to hear this one. Okay? But I had to go buy a new pair of sandals because when I'm walking down the street, and I was trying to walk rapidly because, I'm walking past these houses and I was talking to you on the phone. I said, Darnell, if you hear me scream, tell them to come look for my body because it'll be in one of these places over here. It's scary to know that you have the East Cleveland mayor who's driving past this every day and doesn't think he needs to do anything to fix it. Folks, it's time to wake up.
I see how the young lady may have been taken in East Cleveland. I called you. I texted you. I called you. I was going down the street in East Cleveland.
Yes, you did.
There was not one street light. And on some side of the roads, there was just one.
Darnell, what did I say to you?
Passing all these abandoned buildings.
You expected too much.
I saw families. I saw young ladies and young men walking down these streets. Anybody could have got from behind one of these abandoned buildings and took them on down the street.
Darnell,
I wouldn't have seen it. Nobody would have seen it.
The abandoned buildings and houses I walked past had grass up to my hips. And I'm going to tell you something. I had a contractor come in and do some work for me this past week. And I asked the contractor to put some bars up so that I would be able to do some stretching in my basement, on the bars. And he said, well, how high do you want it? I said, I want it at hip level. So he measured my hip to my foot. And just so the public knows, I have 3 feet of leg. 3 feet.
Keep going.
Okay? That's how high the grass was in front of these abandoned, dilapidated properties. It was higher than my leg, the length of my leg. The grass was more than 3 feet tall. So you're telling me that when I walked past the fire department and they was sitting there chilling and talking, they couldn't have been out there cutting that grass down? It might have been another dead body I walked past over there. This is ridiculous that and here's what I'm saying to my listeners. I need my listeners to hear what I'm saying to you. They have set a standard so low, and we accept that standard that it's not even a standard anymore.
And that's what what's the young man who's running for city council on the west side?
Jonathan Simon.
That's exactly what he said
Jonathan
when he
Simon.
said here. We set the standard so low and in so many places that we just
We cannot keep living like this. We do not want to raise our children in slum places. We do not want to raise. I don't have kids at home, but I have grandkids that reside in the city of Cleveland, and I have a dog and 2 cats that I don't want to raise in a slum lord. Okay, I don't want in slum land. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want to live here. I don't want to have to go get army gear and put on a protective vest and helmet to live on the east side of Cleveland and go get a gun and strap it to my side. This is ridiculous. And then to have the audacity to say he would not lower himself. You can't even get to the point where you could come on this show because you can't answer these kind of questions. You can't answer any kind of questions I would pose to you, and you're scared of me, and I don't care.
He's scared. No, we're not scared.
He's scared.
Oh.
Woo!
We're going to our next.
I said it.
Going to our next hour. Maybe he'll call in 216-578-1490.
That way he can hang up on me. We are going to break. We'll be back with OCU Forum.
Your forum.
Views, opinions, claims, or representations are those of the participants and are not those of 1490 WERE AM's owners or management. Broadcast or rebroadcast in any form of 1490 WERE programming is prohibited unless otherwise agreed to in writing. News Talk 1490 WERE, Cleveland Heights, streaming live on the new BlackPlanetRadio.com.